So today is the 14th of July, and it's the National Day for France. And I think what it corresponds to is very well reflected in English because it's called Bastille Day. And in fact, it corresponds to the liberation of the prison which was the Bastille. The meaning of that was that arbitrary detention. You had prisoners there. It's been decided by the king, and this had to change. It proved that instead of that, you had a society based on rights, based on the rule of law, which means that the judges had to decide that. So it was in fact the day where the rule of law became dominant. An important element was also the Declaration of Human Rights for France, la Déclaration des droits de l'homme et du citoyen, which was adopted in August, and which says that all men are born and remain equal in right. And this is an important element of the values that the French Revolution was developing, became important in right. The third aspect, I would say, is the fact that not only these values were good for the French people themselves at this time, but there is a notion of universality of these values. And in fact, the people, the revolutionary people, waged fights to make these values become more universal. And it's very right that these values spread throughout Europe, but more generally throughout the world. And it can be embodied by the Declaration of Human Rights in the context of the United Nations in 1945. So this is the meaning of the French Revolution. Rule of law, democracy, value, freedom, universal value.